Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It is Migraine Strategy Call Day. I am Debbie Waidl. I'm a certified migraine health coach specialist here to help you figure out how to end your migraines in a safe way that does not have to do with figuring out what the latest medication is, worrying about getting your Botox done, trying to figure out what all those quick fixes are. We're here to help you figure out what it is you need to do to get to your root cause and end your migraines. Today, I am super excited to be surrounded by four amazing women, four amazing graduates to the Freedom From Migraine Method, and they are here to share with you their experience working with us, their experience with migraines and working to migraine freedom, and answer some of the questions that you submitted. We put out a post last week asking you what you guys wanted to know, what your burning questions were, and we're going to answer a few of those questions today. We can't get to every single question, so I promise we'll make sure that we answer them over the next few weeks in content or in other videos. But we're going to answer the top questions that we got today so that we can make sure that you have all of the info that you need. So ladies, 100% thank you for being here. I'm going to take the first question and then I'm going to open up the floor to you guys. Oh, look, we already have people jumping on. We have Valentina on, we have Kelly on, we have Melissa on, we have Jennifer, we have Cheryl. Ladies, thank you so much for being here today. Valentina is my right-hand person on the other side helping out in the group. So please make sure you let her know while you're watching if you have any questions. And if there are any additional questions that you guys didn't get to submit, please do so now, because even if we can't get to them today time-wise, we will make sure that you get those answers to your questions. So the first question that we got was, since I don't take any meds for my migraines and I'm not suffering from medication rebound migraines, can I still find migraine freedom? I love this question because I think a lot of people do believe that that the only way they can end their migraines is if they actually get off of their medication, or if they're not, if they're taking medication, they think that's the only reason they're getting their migraines. But there are many reasons why people have migraines. There are actually 6 key areas of inflammation that we take a look at when we're working on reducing people's inflammation to end their migraines. One of those areas is toxicity mitigation, and that does have to do with medication. But there are 5 other areas that are just as important. So the answer is yes. Even if you are not taking medication, we can still 100% help you work on reducing the inflammation in those areas to get you where you want to go. Now, every single person is different. So I'd like to say, in full disclosure, we would need to jump on a call with you. We would need to know your health history. We would need to be able to talk to you about your lifestyle, your environment that you're living in, to 100% know what is exactly holding you back in those 6 key areas. But we support women all the time that are on meds, that aren't on meds, that are working on reducing their meds. So none of that matters. Please know that you can still get the support that you are looking for. Okay, question number 1. Who is kicking us off? Catherine, you're kicking us off today. Hello, Catherine. How are you?
Hello, I'm great.
So glad that you're here.
Still feeling good.
I love it. I love it.
My big glass of water.
Yep, and mine's right here. Mine's almost gone, but mine's right here. All right, let's hop right to it. So Catherine, your question is, what made you decide to join the program when everything else that you tried failed?
Well, I did spend a lot of time, of course, on Facebook trying to say, okay, what next? What can I try next? Because when you're having those migraines, you're always looking for the next thing that's going to help you, because you just always feel like you're searching. I'm trying to get in there. You always still feel like you're searching for something that's going to help because you're just desperate. I've always liked trying to find the ice cap. That is still. I still love that thing. I traveled to Iowa and I still bring that with me because you get those things that help. So you want to find those things that help. So anyway, so I was on Facebook and I saw one of your one of your things pop up on Facebook, and it was one of your ladies talking about how this helped them. And I thought, maybe this is going to be something that is different. Maybe this is the one thing that is really going to help me, get rid of this thing once and for all. And so I actually watched many of them, because I was one that I had migraines from, I thought was because of, I had a couple concussions.
Mhm.
And so I thought that, is it because of the concussions that I was having migraines? Why was I having the migraines? Trying to figure out why I was having them. I'd been to neurologists and lots of different doctors trying to figure out why I was having them. And
Yeah,
so you're always trying to figure out why and what was the cause of them, trying to get rid of them. And so thought, if it's not the doctors that can figure it out, maybe Debbie can help me. Because the doctor finally should have said, it's probably going to be something you're just going to have to live with. And when you hear that, you're just going to have to live with it. You're just like, no, really? This is what I have to live with, because you get the medication that's supposedly supposed to help you. But, ladies out there, you get that medication, but it doesn't really help. I would take that medication, but you still end up in the bed, for days.
exactly.
So it's like, okay, if I get this thing that I'm gonna have to live like this, there's got to be something else out there. So when I saw Debbie's thing saying maybe this thing is gonna work, and so I actually watched a lot of this for like a year, and I tried a lot of your programs for a year, and then I finally got my husband involved, and he goes, because I kept going, I don't know if I want to spend the money. I was being
Yeah.
cheap, didn't know if I should spend the money, and I finally told my husband about it, and he goes, if this is going to help, we're going to spend the money. He was like, why haven't you told me about this before? He was kind of upset with me that I would like keep it from him. And then so, yes, it was worth it. Oh my gosh, I'm a different person. I'm like back to my normal self.
I love it. I
It's
love
amazing. It is amazing.
And I remember you just basically telling me on the call, it was something different. It was a different approach. It wasn't a Band-Aid approach. It wasn't something that was going to manage your pain. You wanted something that was going to end it. And, when you saw us on Facebook and then stalked us for a very long time,
I did stalk
you
for a while.
realized that it was different. And that's okay. That is absolutely okay. There's a right and a wrong time for everybody to do this. And you found your time. So Catherine, thank you so much for sharing that. I greatly appreciate it. And we'll circle back with you at the end for some words of wisdom for the group.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, Brenda. Brenda, jump on. Let's get you a question.
Hi.
Hi. So everyone would like to know, you've tried everything. You've literally tried everything. Why is this going to work when nothing else has?
Is that my question?
Oh, did I read the wrong one? I did read your wrong question, didn't I?
I can answer that, but I think Jackie prepared for
No,
it.
I read the wrong question. So let's go with your question.
Okay.
Because yours is about the program and the time, isn't it?
Yes.
As soon as I was reading it, I'm like, that's not you. See, this is live, people. You can tell we're live when I can't remember what I'm doing from moment to moment. Actually, I prefer it this way. I prefer to have things live. And Patches actually got up and circled around for you. So the question was, is the program difficult to do if you're always busy? How much time does it actually take up? Because everyone's always saying, and I am too, how we're doing 18 things at once. Life is so busy. It is absolutely crazy. How can you possibly work on migraine freedom when migraines are taking up all your time?
Well, for one thing, everybody's life is busy. I'm retired. I don't have children at home. And so my life is different than everyone else's in the group. And I had to make time. I had to schedule time, and I had to prioritize my time. I mean, my husband was super supportive. He's the one who actually said, it's worth spending the money if we can get you over this.
Mhm.
And so every time he'd say, well, let's do this. And I'm like, I've scheduled my time to get the benefit of the program. He's like, then do it. I'm supporting you, do it. I'm very blessed to have that. But even if you don't, you have to prioritize your time. You have to prioritize you so that you can get everything out of this. Really, I would block off an hour a week because I could do an hour at a time. But if you only did 20 minutes, 3 times a week, you would still get a lot of benefit. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Mhm.
You just have to decide that, wow, I spend a lot of money for this and I want to see the result. And I won't say a lot of money like it's more than I've spent on other stuff, because we all have spent a lot of money trying to get rid of our migraines. I do want to read something because I asked the group, those who do have busier work schedules,
Mhm.
how they found the time. And this is one of the responses. I work full-time, including some road days out of the office, and think the program is structured well to accommodate a busy schedule. When you can't make a coaching or mindset call, you can still catch it later, which is very beneficial. You can still
Mhm.
submit your questions and get the answers. More beneficial is being on the call, but if you can't, you can make it work. When it's been a bit since you get to Facebook, you can catch up when you can. The group really supports each other and you can always catch up. You can post a question or comment any time of day and folks set up with feedback for you pretty quickly. You can learn to cook extra when you cook so that you always have frozen meals ready that support your health when you don't have time to cook. The educational part of the program is self-paced and flexible in how you work with it. You choose how you work with it, how you fit it into your schedule. Healthy and busy can coexist when you set priorities, commit to self-care, and make the best of all you can get from the program. That's the key to getting the most bang for your buck. I absolutely would advise anyone to not let a busy schedule keep you from joining. If people struggle with how to work the program with their schedules, they need to know how much support and help they will get in figuring out once they get started. So anybody can do this program. Busy, I mean, even though I'm retired, I don't even know when I had time to work before. I'm busy all the time. And so you just have to prioritize and schedule. Somebody even suggested make a doctor appointment, but it's your FFMM appointment. So you have blocked off that time, let your family know, I have a doctor appointment, I have a migraine appointment, whatever you want to call it, use it. And there's tons of tools that will help you, that will ease the method of which you work through it.
Mhm.
And the support, like I said, is instrumental and huge.
I love that. What a perfect answer. And I think it really is important to remember that we do have to put ourselves first in order to be able to end up putting everybody else first, right? Because that's our goal. Let's face it. We all sit here as women and we want everyone else to be first, our kids, our spouses, our family. But the only way we can do that is if we take care of ourselves and we make
That
sure
is
that we have.
the lack of taking care of yourself is probably what's led you to where you are right now.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
learn real quick that prioritizing you, learning how to take care of yourself is a key to moving forward in
100%.
life.
Exactly. And we're not saying you have to go away for 4 months and ignore your family and ignore your spouse. We're not saying that. We actually teach, and Brenda can, attest to in the program, we actually teach you how to grab moments in your day. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, maybe a weekend a month. If you're someone like my sister and I are planning a trip for ourselves in January or February, where we are going to go away for an overnight. You don't have to do that every single week, but we know we need it. So we're planning it. You can do those little things. And we watched you do that, Brenda, find more time for you. And you're 100% right. It doesn't matter if you're retired or have kids. My kids are grown and I'm busier now than I was when they were little. And I'm sure Jackie feels the same way with grandkids now. It's like, wait a minute. I had way more time when I had kids. Now with my grandkids, my schedule is full. So I love it. I love it. I think you've given everyone hope that this isn't impossible to do, to fit in your day.
Totally possible.
I love it. Well, thank you. And we'll circle back with you, Brendan. Sorry, again, I read the wrong question. I knew it was wrong when it was coming out of my mouth, but we caught back up. So why don't we do this? I'm going to go to Jackie next since I screwed Jackie's question up, and then we'll do Kathy. So Jackie, how would you like to answer the question I read before? How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
So, did you want to read the question or?
Sure. We'll see if I can read it right this time. You know, I've tried everything, literally everything. Why will this work when nothing else has?
Yes, and I, like so many in this group, we all have tried everything from starting with the medications that they prescribed us to take, down to acupuncture and shots in our head, massages. You know, we've tried so many things, but this program to me, why it works is it got to the root cause for me, which was inflammation and correcting the imbalance in the hormones.
Mhm.
And when you just start with that, and you know that that is the cause of your problems, so then where do you look at?
Mhm.
And your program to me did such an excellent job of touching every one of those areas, the 6 areas that you talked about, and looking at what I needed to do to reduce my inflammation. And it's not one thing, it's not one area. You know, some people might just have a few things. I had many things, and so I needed to look at them, and it really helped. And then the other thing, and every one of us women have touched on this so far, put ourselves first,
Yeah.
because that's how your program really taught me. You know, if somebody says, especially my husband, you want to do this or that, and I would finally just say, hey, wait a minute, I need to prepare for myself.
Mhm.
Do I have the stuff that I need to do so that I can go with you? And or have I done that stuff? Will I take care of myself when I go with you, or I'll be running like crazy and not? Because we just went hunting last night, looking for elk, climbing the mountains, and you know, I had to really think, okay, are you taking care of yourself, Jackie?
Mhm.
So your program, I think with those two things, that really, really helped me with my migraine freedom, getting to the source of the inflammation and then putting me first, and honoring myself, you know,
Yeah.
which I didn't. You know,
Yeah.
I truly didn't put myself first ever.
Yeah, and I don't think we think about that. You know, it really takes someone else to point that out for us to really think about that. And my husband, you know, he hears me a lot on these calls, and he's like, do you realize how many years you didn't do that for yourself and you're sitting there preaching it? And I go, I know, but I'm doing it now. Right?
Yeah.
Goes, but
Yeah.
years and years and years, you wouldn't let us do anything. You thought you know, you were the best at everything. You had to do it all. You had to do the shopping and the cooking. And of course, now I'm like, please, anybody else go do that.
Yeah.
I'm so willing to hand things off so that I can honor myself, but I'm willing to partake obviously as well. But yeah, it's key. It's key. And Jackie, you research forever. You know, let's face it, you do have a medical background. You did a ton of research, you know,
I did.
so for you,
And I could not help myself. And I feel terrible. I thought the only way was medication. Of course, I did other things. I was always healthy. I tried to exercise. I did massage. I did acupuncture. I never wanted to take all those medications. But in the end, when the medications finally start to affect my health in other ways,
Mhm.
I finally had to say, man, I've got to do something. I
Yeah,
have to get off those medications. They're not good for me.
yeah. And you did. And you did.
I did. I did.
Well, thank you for that. And we will circle back. Last but not least, Kathy. How are you today, Miss Kathy?
I'm great.
I'm so glad that you're here. So let's jump right in. Would you recommend this program, you know, to other women who are suffering with migraines that, you know, they say might be different than everyone else's, that they may have other medical conditions, kind of like Catherine mentioned, she had a concussion. I can't tell you how many women have said, I have a concussion, I have this autoimmune disease, I have this condition, so there's no way you can help me. What would we say to those women?
Absolutely. I'm the poster child for that. I hate to say that. I wished I wasn't. So I just want to share a real quick part of my story to make my point. When I was in maybe my late 40s, I started having these rogue headaches, which I now know were migraines.
Mhm.
And at first they were sporadic, but then they started getting closer and closer together. Fast forward to 2019, I found myself laying in the ER with moments left to my life because I had a very rare ruptured aneurysm in my abdomen that I didn't even know I had until it burst.
Mm.
And that led through all the treatment for that led to this diagnosis that I had this disease called MALS that I didn't know I had, but that I had had symptoms for so many years. And that led to an Ehlers-Danlos diagnosis for hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos 2 years ago. After trying to recover from all of that, I found myself again in the emergency room with an acute brain bleed and found out through that I had fibromuscular dysplasia in my carotid arteries and in all the medium-sized arteries in my body. And then I found out that I had POTS on top of it, which I've had symptoms for all my life. And I'm saying all that to say that those 4 genetic disorders all predispose the people that have those to severe migraines.
Mm.
And yes, inflammation. Yes, a lot of other things. And my doctor said the only way for you to survive is to be on migraine preventative medications. You cannot have migraines anymore. Horrible reaction to the medicine, so bad that my doctor said, you cannot take that anymore. You are not a candidate for Botox. You cannot have NSAIDs. You cannot have triptans. And it was like, what am I supposed to do at this point? And so I don't even know how I found the Women's Migraine Freedom group, but like Catherine, I was an avid researcher. And at this point knew I needed to take my health into my own hands. And I met up with you somehow. And shortly after joining, you contacted me. And man, I tell you, 5 minutes into the conversation with you, I was in.
You were.
And I put 100% into this program. I'm a very busy farmer's wife. Through all of this, I've pretty much lost my ability to work and my ability to function other than manage my business. And I knew one thing I could do was maybe stop my migraines, which by now were every single day of my life. And yeah, so if you think, well, my case is special, and it's not just simply inflammation, and it's not, I'm just different than everybody else. Well, maybe you're not.
Yeah.
And I'm living a predominantly migraine-free life. No.
Yeah. Yeah. The list of things that you've had to endure, Kathy, is, first of all, we're sorry you've had to endure all that, but it is absolutely amazing the control you've taken of your own health. You have some amazing doctors. We still need conventional medicine, right? But
Absolutely.
you also, on top of that, have said, this is my life. And I need to figure this out because I want to live it. You made some changes, you made some adjustments, but you can still be an active part of your farm. We can see that in your amazing photos on Facebook. We get to enjoy you with the grandkids and, all of
Right.
the things that they're doing on the farm. And on top of that, you can take care of yourself. So if someone that has managed to get through all of these health conditions can do that, I really think anybody else can as well.
Well, one more thing, my life prior to the Freedom From Migraine program pretty much encompassed going from bed in the morning to my reclining chair, to staying there most of the day, to going back to bed at night. And maybe on a day or two during the week, I would feel well enough to pretend I could be involved.
Mhm.
in something, but not really.
Yeah.
I very seldom sit in my chair anymore.
I warned you, ladies. Patches was gonna bark during this call. Cue Patches. Oh, gotta love it. This is live, folks. As I said, we are live. Well, thank you for that, Kathy. It's
Sure.
your story is amazing. So let's circle back around so we can honor everyone's time. I want to make sure that those that are watching, especially if you're watching with a migraine, that we're honoring you. So how about we just go in the order we started in? I'm going to give each one of these amazing ladies a chance to just really quick tell you something that they want you to know, something that they feel is going to really be helpful to you and give you hope that you as well do not need to live a life with migraines, that you can take control of your health and make changes to be able to start living your life versus, as Kathy said, managing day to day. No one should have to manage day to day. You know, I do not believe, whether you believe in God, spirit, being, I do not believe we were put on this earth to manage. We were put on this earth to do something, to live. And each and every one of you can do that. So Catherine, start us off. What words of wisdom would you like to share with the group?
I just want to share that if you want to do something for yourself, if you are suffering from migraines, do this for yourself. Give yourself the benefit of joining the program. Treat yourself and be kind to yourself. If you can't be kind to somebody else, at least be kind to yourself. Do this for yourself.
100%. I love that. Be kind to yourself. I'm going to remember that. That's amazing. Thank you. Brenda.
Well, I want to tell you that I joined the Women's Migraine Freedom Facebook group just to hear what other people were discovering about migraines. I didn't know that there was a further program. So respond. It took me having 3 straight days of migraines to finally say I've had enough. You don't have to wait that long. And the big difference it has made to me is now I know why I get a migraine. I know my triggers. Before it was like, I have a migraine. Well, why do you think that happened? I have no idea. Now I know exactly what my triggers are and how to deal with them. And it's made a huge difference in my severity, my frequency, my length of my migraines.
Amazing. Thank you. Jackie.
Well, I just think that this is a wonderful program. It just fits women so well. And again, do it for you and for your family. You will find you're a whole different person once those migraines are taken care of. You will find that you can actually get out there and live.
Yeah. And look for elk at night, really
And
climbing.
look for elk, yes, and grandkids. And
I love it. I love it.
That's
I
me,
want to see
almost
photos when you
63.
get one, Jackie.
Right, almost 63, hike in the hills, you bet.
I love it. That's amazing. Kathy.
I guess I would say life is not perfect for everybody, but there are so many things that we can do for ourselves to make things better.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time through all the mindset work in this group to realize that I actually was worth the time and the effort and the attention I was putting on myself to make myself the best version of me that I could be while still dealing with the rest of my health issues, which are always going to be there, but I don't have to spend my life sitting in a chair.
No, you don't. That's amazing. I think that is the key that we all need to walk away from this, is that we have control. We are worth it. And we have to stop feeling guilty. You know how we always joke about the mom guilt, you know, the spouse guilt. We got to put that guilt away. And we have to realize that we are a creature that was created and put on this earth in whatever way you feel it happened. And we deserve to have an amazing life. We deserve it. And let's face it, our spouses don't want us to be miserable and in pain. Our kids don't want us to be miserable and pain. But I think sometimes we always stop to think about, oh, well, that money could buy my kid a car. The money could, maybe pay for a semester in college, or we could go on a trip, but think about all those things. First of all, you go on the trip, you're probably going to have a migraine or be worried about when you're going to get it, right? And your kids will figure out a way to pay for that semester in college, knowing that mom is going to be okay. And maybe when mom's okay, then mom can actually work and be able to help if they want to do that, right? Now you can actually get back to work because so many of you are barely making it through work. So just remember that you all are 100% special, whether you reach out to us for help or not. Get some help somewhere, have somebody help you. We would love to be that person to jump on a call and chat with you to see if we can help move you forward. But if you're not comfortable with that and you want to do it through somebody else, then that is absolutely fine. Just make sure that you honor yourself and remember that you are super special and you deserve it. All right, everybody, let me just take a quick peek at comments. Let me make sure that I didn't miss anything before we let you go. I did pretty well today, 202. I'm impressed. Let's see. Everyone is saying thank you for your time, ladies. You're all amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. You're all my sheroes. You're amazing. You're a true warrior. Wow, I'm impressed, Jackie. You're a true warrior, Kathy. Amazing. Everyone is just throwing out so much love. So ladies, make sure you go back in the group later and check it out. There's so many comments. I won't go through and read them all, but anybody watching on the replay, please let us know #replay. If you have any questions, just throw them in there. And I am sure the ladies will be more than happy to answer if there's something you want them to elaborate on, or if there's something that we can help you with. And Valentina, please pop the link in there so that everyone, if they would like to jump on a call with a team member, can do so. We'll get that link in the comments for you in just a couple minutes, ladies, so you can do that. Kathy, Catherine, Jackie, Brenda, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. It has been my pleasure to support your migraine freedom. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for giving back to every woman in this group and sharing hope with them. All right, everybody, you have an amazing day. And we will see you next week for our migraine strategy call. Take care.